Joining us now is Steve Wood, the Republican candidate for Grant County Judge Executive. Steve, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks very much for having me. I appreciate it.
For those that may not already be familiar with you, why don't you tell us a little background on yourself?
Well, I'm Stephen Wood, and I grew up in Grant County. When I graduated from high school, I went away to college at University of Tennessee, Chattanooga, where I got my business degree. Then after that, I went to work for the International Harvester Corporation and was with 2 or 3 companies before I settled with U.S. Brick for 22 years. So I was gone from Grant County for 25 years. But I came back in 1990, and glad I did because I love Grant County. And because I love Grant County so much, that's the reason I'm running.
Okay. Our first question deals with the county budget. The current county budget stands at just over $11 million, with 38% of that, or just over $4.2 million, belonging to the jail fund. Now, last year, the county had to supplement the jail's budget with nearly $1 million coming out of the general fund. And without any income from housing federal prisoners, that figure will be nearly the same again this year. It's been just over 10 years now since the jail expanded, and needless to say, it's fallen short of expectations. Realistically, what do you see happening with the jail over the next 4 years?
I am very concerned about the jail, as most citizens are. We've actually got an albatross around our neck. That jail was, actually we were duped into believing that it would make money, in all honesty. But we've got it. We've got to do something with it. But I would like to go back a little bit and talk about the jail. I know for a fact that our current judge executive was for the jail. And he went to several business people, and I knew it even back then that jails don't make money. He was told, the fiscal court was told, jails don't make money. Now, I don't mean to second guess too much here, but it was probably the worst fiscal decision this county has ever made. Well, it was the worst fiscal decision. I think that it's something we have to look at, and if I get in there, and maybe Judge Link's been doing this, I would like to go to the state. With bonds being as cheap as they are right now, maybe we could possibly blend all the jail expenses into one pot and maybe have the state take over our financial burden. Now, I've been out to the jail, and the jail looked great. I think they're doing a good job out there now, and I'm actually going to tour it Thursday too. But I think that it is good for jobs. I like to keep it. But I do think we need to look at either privatization. I don't know where I agree with that. I'd have to study that deeply, or with the state taking it over. Now, there is one thing I want to say, and I'm going to show an object here, but it really bothers me because I feel like, as if I become your new judge, that I have to be responsible for my decisions. But back in April 27th of 2000, in the Grant County News, there's an article. Let's read a couple quotes. And one quote, you can't see it, I'm sure, that jail, 28 beds, was, as we knew it, was going to suck us dry. That was quoted by Darrell Link. Later on in the article, it says a study has been shown the facility will be operating in the black within 1 year. As far as I know, we haven't made a dime on it. And I think that maybe we got some bad information, or like I said, the people were duped. But I would like to think that we should hold any individual who is our CEO of this county to be responsible for it. However, once again, I do believe that we need to do everything in our power to do everything we can to help it. Now, there's one thing that people without experience in building industry like I do, or business like I do, the jail is getting ready for maintenance repairs. Now, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's going to be something the new judge is going to have to, well, the old judge or the new judge is going to have to face in the future. And it's a pretty scary deal. So I just want people to know that when you start taking on facilities like this, you have to realize that there are certain expenses that are going to occur over the next few years, like when you build a new house. So I think, back to the question again, we go to the state, if we can, and try to get them to maybe help us. Because I can't see, we got all fixed costs there, pretty much. It's going to be hard. Oh, and one more thing you asked about federal prisoners, Federal prisoners, I haven't seen one yet. And I know for a fact in the budget there's $450,000 in there for revenue this year. And I hope somebody knows something I don't know. I hope we get them. Whoever's judge. The county needs it. We're working for the people. We need it.
Now, due to the future road expansion on Barnes Road, the county barn had to be moved from its previous location here in Williamstown. And this summer, the county moved the barn to some property in Dry Ridge, just off of Meeks Road, near the expressway. Now, it was a move that was not without debate. What are your thoughts on the property itself, its accessibility on and off of Taft Highway, and the process in which the county came to purchase the property?
Well, I read the article in the Grant County News, and it was very disturbing to me. But, you know, I know that laws are made for reasons. They're not for loopholes. And it looks like we kind of went around the law on that one. And I don't know what the purpose was. First of all, the location is right by interstate, and it's kind of an eyesore for Grant County, for Dry Ridge, excuse me. And I think the accessibility is pretty rough. Because if you go to turn left toward Oynton, I saw a truck the other day coming out of there that couldn't turn left. He had to go up and then turn around and come by. Why do we need prime land, which I would consider it pretty much close to prime land, for trucks and barns? We had lots of locations we could have looked at, and we ended up paying $302,000, which is $70,000 or so more than what the appraised value was. Now, we got to remember we're talking about taxpayers here. At taxpayers' expense, we subsidized somebody, whoever owned the land. And if I'm not mistaken, he may have been a former member of the IAD board, Industrial Authority Development Board. And I don't know what went on here, but I don't like what I see. But I surely wish that we'd have gotten land that was less expensive and saved the taxpayers money. And also, we took away the tax base. But here's what I want to say. Under a Steve Wood administration, there's not going to be backdoor deals. There's not going to be sweetheart deals. We're going to be open. We're going to be transparent. I'm not going to do anything like that. And there will never, ever be a time in my administration when two magistrates meet with the judge. It's always going to be three. I'm not going to talk business. Actually, that's a sunshine law. I don't know whether you're familiar with it or not. But you should never have a meeting or discuss business unless you have all magistrates there.
Okay. The Grant County Animal Shelter is on its third director in the past 16 months. What do you think is necessary to stabilize that position, and how do you feel the shelter should balance the use of volunteers and Class D prisoners along with the minimal number of paid county employees in this situation?
Well, first of all, I try to figure out who's hiring these people. And I find out it's the judge executive's responsibility. But two things happen usually when you lose employees. It's either a bad hire or it's the working conditions. And maybe it's a little bit of both. But I think we've had some good people in there. I pretty much got involved here in the last 2 or 3 months and never really got involved with the animal shelter. But the animal shelter is responsibility of the judge executive and the fiscal court. And whether you like the animal shelter or not, I'm sworn, if I win, to uphold it. And I do love animals. And I think that if you do have volunteers that come in there, they should like animals. But I also think they should be supervised. I also think that the Class D prisoners should be supervised. I don't think they should be able to work before working hours and they have to work after working hours. Because, from past experience, we don't want any shenanigans going over there where mommy and daddy or girlfriend or boyfriend may come over and slip them something or do something that's immoral or wrong for the county. Remember, we got to be good stewards for our taxpayers. I don't want to waste money, but I think about 3 Class D prisoners would be great to work before hours and after working hours with supervision. Now, let's follow that up with, I think we should hire an animal control director, if that's what you want to call her, him or her, and then an assistant and a technician. The technician can be part-time. And maybe they're doing it right now as we speak. I don't know. But it needs to be hands-on. And when I say that, communication between the judge and the fiscal court and the animal control shelter director. I think that if she's going to oversee the prisoners, she needs to go take a course, because that's a pretty big responsibility. I don't think we can afford to send one of the jailers over and overlook them during that time period. And what I was going to say is that if, a prisoner would probably love to get out and do something, and I want them to love animals too, by the way, but if they get out, what difference does it make whether it's 3 in the morning or 7 o'clock at night? Just so they have the supervision that they need to do. And back to the volunteers, it's almost like the fire department. I mean, you got to praise these people. They come up there and they work for nothing. And they need leaders. They need guidance. They need leadership guidance, and they need to be praised for doing right. If they're not doing wrong, treat them with respect, but try to help them out. I think we've had some feelings hurt here and some things done that didn't work out too well. These people are volunteering for nothing to save taxpayers' money. So I think we should treat them with respect too.